It was a day like any other, yet Johnny found himself a little more thoughtful than usual. The man who had already been everything in life began to wonder, what could he possibly do next? He started with a bike ride through the city, but it didn't even come close to meeting his expectations. Next, he decided to go strawberry picking, but that too turned out to be just another disappointment. He thought a trip to the movies might do the trick, but the film bored him. After all, he knew much better movies, for example, the ones he had starred in himself. He needed something more challenging, so he decided to go skydiving, but even that filled him with nothing but boredom. By now, night had fallen. He decided to sit down for a moment and simply do nothing. When suddenly, a dark, furry creature approached. Johnny couldn't resist petting the cat. Not because he thought it was especially cute, no, but because it simply had so much more hair than he did. The cat ran off, and Johnny, hypnotized by all that glorious hair, ran after it. Before he knew it, the cat had led him into a forest. And although Johnny had already traveled through just about every forest in the world, this one felt strangely unfamiliar to him. The cat headed toward the opening of a massive tree and slipped inside. Though Johnny found the place unusual, the hero in him couldn't let the cat go in there alone, so he followed. Inside the tree, it grew darker and darker. He felt as though he was in a damp, pitch-black hole that, unbelievably as it may sound, was unlike anything even he had ever experienced before. Then there was no ground beneath his feet. He fell and fell and fell a little further. When he finally landed, after what felt like an eternity, he was, to all of our surprise, unharmed. He quickly got back to his feet and followed the cat toward what looked like an exit. He could hardly believe his eyes when he saw what lay beyond. A world beyond imagination, with a flora and fauna unlike anything on Earth. And as if that wasn't strange enough, the cat suddenly stood upright like a person and took his hand. Together they wandered through this wondrous world across valleys and mountains with no real destination. Simply to be there, just when it seemed nothing could disturb this peaceful atmosphere. One of the flying creatures Johnny had noticed earlier landed in front of them, blocking their way in a threatening manner. Johnny could not allow the creature to harm the cat, not even a single hair, and took a fighting stance. They stood face to face, the silence heavier than my bank account after the subscription fee for something I haven't used in months gets deducted. As expected, the creature knew it didn't stand even the slightest chance against Johnny, and bowed before its new master. Johnny and the cat climbed onto the creature's back, and thus the unlikely trio began an unforgettable journey. The view from above was, even for Johnny, the man who had seen everything, a unique experience. It felt like nothing before, especially not like skydiving. over time, the trio passed through extraordinary places. Johnny saw flying crystals that almost shone as brightly as his bald head on a sunny summer day. Unbelievable! At night, the stars, if you could even call them that, were almost within reach. Johnny could barely contain his awe. The forests of this world were as magical as something from a fairy tale. Nothing like anything in our own world. For the first time in ages, Johnny was truly content. His thirst for new experiences had been quenched, though this world clearly still had so much more to offer. And his newfound friend was just as happy as a cat could possibly be. Only newfound might not be the right word. At the same time, in another world, one far less joyful and magical, our dark, four-legged companion walked alone through rain-soaked streets, seemingly searching for something very dear to her. The search led to a place filled with grief and despair, a place where you would rather not find what you're looking for, and yet it was exactly the place where she finally found what she had been searching for. I once heard that a cat will always find its way back to its owner, no matter where that owner is. And perhaps that saying is true.